What's up, everybody? Wake and Bake POD Gem. What's going on? Back to the Freaky Friday show. Fastest show in MLB. Absolutely freaking anywhere. Take that one to the bank. Golf pros in the house. DN Stoners in the house. Ooh, wakey, eggs and bakey, everybody. And a hi-ho silver from shiny Brooklyn. All the way to those lovely mountains and the altitude up in Colorado. What's going on, everybody? Lego, my ego. Today's another 2-game slate, and it's seriously it's an internet meme of the horse where the drawing starts at the tail end, and it's so nice. Like, I could never do anything like this. Beautiful, detailed, intricate shading, and then, that's our first matchup. Houston, Texas. Man, Clash of the Titans feels like the World Series going on in the ALCS right now. And then we're going to get over to a game started by Joe Mantiply and the Diamondbacks. Yikes. That's a part of the horse runs. It's like a stick figurehead with 2 teeth, and that's it. Golf Pro getting cute with the Tucker Kyle bases. I got Gurriel yesterday that we didn't really do great yesterday. I think we were hit and miss on the pitching props. The Haney 2 earned runs took about 3.5 seconds. He wasn't in long enough to walk 2 batters. He only got 1. Jeez Louise. Nuance and the context that you get any only here, man. I've been really diving in. I even got myself into a little bit of a playoff groove, right? It's not the same as it would be when we had 15 games. Not saying we're not looking at it, but year-to-date stats at this point are really kind of meaningless. It's all about the sine waves, right, that we talk about throughout the season. Top waves and bottom waves, and that's a better way to explain bad teams playing bad teams playing good, and every iteration of the like. Okay, rate, review, and subscribe, because that shit matters more than it should. Let's get it done. 2 games. Baby. Okay, number 1. Sorry, my notes, of course, out of whack here already. All right, first up, JV. So this is a rematch of Game 1. Houston v. Texas. On the bump for the Astros, plus 100, man. Jeez. You tell me you get Verlander to even money in a playoff game. Say, where do I sign up? Going to Texas, Rangers, slight favorites, minus 110 at home. Jay Montgomery on the bump for the Rangers. Man, I wish the Yankees had a guy like him. I wish the Yankees had a guy like Jordan Montgomery. I'm just never going to get over it. I'm enjoying it for the young man. He's going to go get that bag, kid. He's about to get pizzade in the shade before he ends up with the Yankees. They had no problem doing that with Chapman. The Yankees don't really care about that stuff. So maybe he'll be back. I don't know. But Montgomery's he's a bulldog. That's what we liked about him. And again, he's a young pitcher. You'll hear in fantasy circles and baseball analysis, right, that growth not being linear, that kind of works for prospects. Young players in all sports, fantasy betting otherwise. Montgomery's got the dog in him, man. He stayed healthy. He was always kind of an inning eater, and now he's added some swing and miss ability with the off-speed stuff. He's taken off. He's been excellent. All right, let's start with JV, though. 2 starts in the playoffs. Against Minnesota, went 6, gave up none, struck out 6, walked 3. Then against these Texas Rangers, Game 1, went 6 2/3, gave up 2, struck out 5, walked 2. The 2 home runs in Texas was Evan Carter doubled, Heim knocked him in, and then Leote hit a solo shot. It was kind of scattered, not a lot of offense. That game ended 2-0. Right, JV's bringing the 4-seamer, the slider, and the curve. In that game, max 25 CSW, right, your called strikes plus whiff rate, you want to be at 30 or better. We mentioned Arcadian is freaking numbers like 65, 87, when you're really, that's why we don't use small sets. But just to give you an idea looking back, Verlander, but 6 2/3 gave up 2, which is a pretty good start. 1 out away from a money start. If you hear me refer to that, that's 7 innings minimum, 2 earned runs maximum. With only a 25% CSW on each individual pitch, only 7 total whiffs in that game. So really not what you'd expect. He also faced Texas in Texas. First week of September, he went 7, gave up 1, struck out 6, walked 1. P.O. wants Jordan Montgomery to head over to the Rockies and not the Yankees. P.O., I'm very, very sorry. He won't be going to the Rockies because that would be a good move, right? So he won't be going to the Rockies. Pitchers you might expect to get signed by the Rockies. I don't know, just at the top of my head. Jordan Lyles, that ilk. Maybe like you'll get Dallas Keuchel, Noah Syndergaard, right? That's what I'm expecting from the Rockies. Really, just abject freaking disaster. I hate being arrogant, though being very confident is part of my line of work, and you got to toe the line. Hopefully, you're surrounded by people brave enough that love you enough, to pull you back. I'm adding 5 wins to that team just off the bus. Like, had they handed me, some sort of say in organizational development there, we're going to be redoing a lot. We're redoing a lot. The entire approach of that team we're going to redo. We're going to figure out pitching stuff that they haven't been able to do. Yeah. Scoff Pro. Very well put. Rockies only get dust balls and dumpster fires, sadly. It's just awful. When I read about them that they like to sign, like, emotionally, so they'll keep their own guys on, but then they go and leave. But you just can't. It's not that organization. Not selling widgets, trying to win baseball games up against, quant wizards and algorithms and supercomputers, machine learning and shit like that. Whatever. It's a complete malpractice. Anyway. So Verlander has shoved these Rangers around. Really not much there, even with the 2 runs. Hardly split you can get against him. 305 max, lefty righty home away split. I don't use the word split proof. That's another term that I kind of developed. For me, that's a 300 wobo or less. So Verlander's right there. He's pretty much split proof. Those all imply well above average run totals. You get the 4-seamer 50% of the time, which is a lot for a 458 X slug, 18% whiff. Not a great combination of contact quality and swing and miss ability. But the shape on it is very good. Very flat, about 12 inches of vertical ride, which is phenomenal for a starting pitcher, almost as low as she goes. You got a few outlying guys, DeGrom and Hunter Green, a couple guys that are 11 towards 10. But 12 is excellent, especially with 8 inches of horizontal ride, right? Vertical ride, think roller coaster ride, horizontal run, And it also mirrors the curve. Again, all the deceptive elements that he's been able to maximize. He's super smart with smart organizations of pitch shape and changing eye level using deceptive elements within the arsenal. R.E. Cola spin. Colon. Oh, God. Rector. Damn, they have killed her. Anyway. So the 4-seamer is not great on paper and it even gets hit hard, but it's really a very important part of the arsenal. And then that curve I mentioned, 20 use, 321 X slug, 25 whiff, which is good to set up the slider, which is the colon collapser. 25 use, a 287 expected slug, 29 whiff. That pitch is excellent. 27 games started on the year, 14 quality, 7 money, right? Money starts, 7 inning minimum, 2 run maximum. 0-10 strikeout Adams. Not that necessarily need strikeouts. It's innings and earned runs. But I was a bit surprised when we're looking for the starts and move the needle. Again, strikeouts are very important if you end up with runners on base. Okay, right off the bat, number 1, speaking of strikeouts, Jay, bring up that strikeout prop for Mr. Verlander. We're kind of ignoring juice, everybody. Again, during the season, because the menu, the availability of bets is so wide, I generally don't go outside of a minus 140 for a solo bet. During the playoffs, especially when you find props that you like, we're going to like that minus 175. We won't have to for this one. Let's call it minus 160, Jay. Let's call it minus 160. 4.5 strikeouts for Verlander. I thought that was a little bit low. He's gone over that mark, 20 of 27 starts. The out prop is 16.5. He's gone over that 17 of 27. Not sure I'm buying that. They might take 5 really strong, depending on the score and the pitch count. Walk prop set at 1.5. He's gone over that 12 of 27. So not really loving that. That one really split. And the over, check this one out, Jay. The earned run is at 3.5. Could you see if you can find a match on that also? That's correct. I think we're going to go under 3.5 for Verlander. He's only gone over 7 of 27 starts. But I think more importantly, by the time the third run is on the board, that might be it. So I definitely like going under 3.5. I think I like under 3.5 earned runs for any starter in the playoffs. You almost not really expect this series being decided by nose. I was a kid. This is Clash of the Titans heavyweight championship stuff right here. It's not makes me like regret that I bet on it, but betting even for somebody like me who's a cold analytical son of a gun, you know, whatever. We eat losses. I eat pieces of like you for breakfast. You eat pieces for breakfast. I let this stuff roll off me. But even still, you know that you have money on it, so you're kind of rooting for stuff. This one, if you could, you just want to watch, man, and suck this one up. This is what it's all about. But again, 3.5 runs of Verlander seems a little bit high. So let's go. Jay, feeling good about that? Right? Feeling good about that. Over 4.5 Ks, under 3.5 runs. Feeling pretty good about that. You know, workload, everything's in play, not like the mistakes, you know, the stuff we were worried about, caught off the IL with Scherzer. Texas offense, again, very good versus righties. Second half, we kind of did some of this yesterday. Top 3 in homers, ISO, lighted slugging. Top 10 in batting average and OPS. I want to get that correct. Simeon, Seager, Doise, Evan Carter, all killing righties down the stretch, plus 900 OPS the second half. I mentioned 8 players had a 108 WRC plus or better in the second half yesterday. Versus JV this year, though. Okay, so in that game, Simeon really hit him hard. Simeon went 3 for 3, nearly 900 expected WOBA. Pretty good performance from Simeon. So if you're looking for a hit prop, it's probably him. And maybe the under strikeout prop, like it's maybe him. Did they even list Simeon? Might be listed at 1.5 hits, which I'm not crazy about. And I don't know if I want. Yeah, you got to really go up the juice ladder. I'm not willing for that. minus 270. And I don't know if I really want to. Jay, we didn't talk about this, but you're probably in line. It's really intuitive. Jim Pine in the house. Welcome aboard. OPMG, Capo Status. Guys, grab your spears, grab your shield. You know, we have a talented fan, man. Sparta needs us. Giving it a book. Nothing. Taking from them everything. Me and you. Call the pen crew, baby. Can't believe it. Got to be closing in on 140 straight shows, Jay. You should be extremely proud of the work you've done. I know I am. Tyler C., what's up, man? Making the live show. One. All right, so Simeon really got to JV. What I mentioned with the total bases is, again, when we're playing total bases during the season, it's a 15-game slate. I run the model. We have the backing of the algo with implied team totals. Looking for extra plate appearances. You're not really getting those here. And I don't think the pricing reflects it. I guess I could have asked you for it. Jay, I didn't see the total base price. But probably not worth it. Because during the regular season, it's plus 120 or whatever. And they're just not doing it. Yeah, plus 105. No, thank you. Thanks, but no thanks. How about hit runs and ribbies? That's kind of tough, though, right? Scoring at a premium. It's really tough. If it's not a negative in front of you, you can take a walk with that. You know, I'm trying, everybody. I want to get you those bets in, but we really want to be smart and remain in the plus EV lane. All right, let's move on to the other side. I'm going to have to hurry up now. Go figure. J-Mon on the bump. 3 starts in the playoffs. Went 7, gave up none, struck out 5, walked none versus Tampa. Got touched by Baltimore. Remember, Baltimore's a very good left-handed team. We were on that. Went 4, gave up 4, struck out 2, went 1, then versus these Astros. 6 in the third, gave up none, struck out 6, walked 1. He's been excellent. 32 games started this season, 20 quality starts, 6 money starts, 0 above 10 Ks. We know that's not really his bag. Featuring the sinker first, 40% of the time in the sinker, 421 X slug, 14 whiff. It's really the setup pitch for the other stuff, right? That curveball he throws, 362 X slug, 37 whiff. That's a money pitch, that curveball. Yankees were worried he didn't have the swing and miss stuff. They were worried he didn't have the power stuff. They were worried he'd never give him 30 starts. Well, in your face, you stupid Yankee front office. You guys are terrible. Now, again, I understand they were very analytic and not like the Rockies, where I could add 6 wins. I'd probably only add 1 win to the Yankees. But if you can add 1 win to a really good team, you're probably pretty smart, or they're doing something wrong. I think it's a combination of both. All right. That felt good to get out there, man. Every so often, you got to just purge on your favorite teams. Make no mistake, I freaking love the Yankees. I'm dyed in the wool Yankee fan. My blood, my son's bedroom are pinstriped. Dyed in the wool Yankee fan. For real, I've been watching it since the 80s. I used to go to 20, 30 games a season. They're terrible. You got to be able to call a spade a spade. That'll help you for your betting stuff also, people. When you start making money, we love making money against the Yankees. If you followed this year, you know that, because even when they're terrible, they carry good prices. We did very well against the Yankees. All right, so the sinker to set up the curve, but then you get the arm side change again. Very good. He throws this exclusively to righties. 294 X slug, 39 whiff. Straight up money pitch, straight up colon collapser, straight up devastating stuff. He faced Houston in the regular season once, 6 2/3, gave up 1, so he's been very good against them. Struck out 6, went 1. The 1 run was a Martin Maldonado home run. Hard to rely on that. Game 1 in this championship series. I'm telling you, I was digging for it, man. Nuance and context pouring out the nose. Death taxes me up before the crack of dawn to bring you this show, man. I'm straight up on this. No batted ball events beyond 340 feet, man. That is pretty damn good. Not a single one. Not one. And only 2 balls hit above 100 miles an hour. Those both belong to Mauricio Dubon. I don't know where we're going. I mean, again, I was on watching this one because it feels like, maybe I should have mentioned the under, Jay. What's the F5 under look like? Is it at 4.5? 4.5, maybe we can dig it. If it's 4, I'd hate going under those, because I always feel like you're playing for a tie in a 2-2. Jay says it's 4.5. I could dig on that if the price is normal. You know, this is just about one of these guys shoving, really. We've seen a ton of it. I think it's there. So this is J Mont. You know what, Jay? Maybe before we pull the trigger on the F5, bring up the Montgomery strikeout prop. Also, I know he's not a big K guy, but the bar is so low. Jordan Montgomery strikeouts set. All right, we're having a little bit of technical issues on the back end. Don't worry about it. I'll talk you through all the bet stamp stuff. Jay, you just let me know when you're back on board with that. Don't worry, you do your thing, my man. It's all good. We're all in this together. You know, everybody needs somebody sometimes. 3.5 Ks from Montgomery. He's on over that 25 of 32. So don't worry, my man, Jay Bird. I got your back. Big Johnny Stud is on the job. 3.5 Ks is minus 155. Jay, maybe you want to just track them in our chat. We'll go back and load them. Is that cool? So let's go Montgomery over 3.5 Ks, minus 155. You're going to like that he's going over 25 of 32. Again, we're not really looking for an impact strikeout performance. We're kind of assuming 6 innings, where 4 Ks to 6 innings it's not that good. I mean, again, low bars. Trust me, I am Mr. Low Expectations. My wife's a dime piece, who might not know it. 16.5 outs is the bar. Is going over 23 of 32. The distance ones I worry about more, because you can get pulled in the 6th with any kind of damage. So I think I'm going to pass that. Over 1.5 walks. He's gone over that 14 of 32 again. Not really too interested. And then over 2.5 runs. That one's 11 of 32. Surprise. Verlander posted an extra run over Montgomery. So I'm not really interested there. I would have liked the 3.5. So you know what? All things considered, Houston offense has been good versus lefties, but which lefties? But again, I want to lay it out for you. You know, I don't hide this stuff. Second half versus lefties is 925 plate appearances. Phillies were number 1 in home runs and ISO, number 2 in OPS, WOBA, WRC+, number 3 in batting average, number 4 in K rate. Pretty damn good when you're combining the disciplinary metrics that we know we love so much with not just contact, but the highest quality of contact. That was always the key for the Phillies. Phillies hitting top sine wave are among the, flat out just best teams there is. Because they're pretty good at the back end, but the front of that lineup's insane. the fact that we kind of look past hitters like Castellanos and JT Realmuto as like whatever, even Bryson Stott and Brandon Marsh, the fact that these guys just kind of get looked past really says everything. Don't get me wrong. I got, I'm bringing up Philly notes like an idiot, and I'm thinking about Houston, obviously, Jordan, and Bregman Tucker. Oh my gosh, sorry about that, everybody. I don't know why. I just spun off that because next up I have the Philly game. But first, we were going to do a ad read. We're brought to you by betstamp.app/call to the pen. Tell them Johnny sent you.
For sure. John, I got you here. The easiest way to improve as a sports bettor is to use multiple sports books and to always get the best odds. We recommend using an odds comparison tool like BetStamp. BetStamp compares odds across every sports book, including games, player props, and futures. Save time, save money. Download the app today. If you're looking to sign up for more sports books, make sure you head over to betstamp.app/call to the pen. If you sign up through that page, it helps support the show. Now back to John here.
Yeah, my apologies one more time for that slip up. So much data, so many notes in different places. Sometimes labeling, gets crossed. I could tell you what happened. These games are flipped in order, and I screwed up something. So again, I want to be clear. The numbers were correct. Houston offense second half first, lefties extremely strong. All those numbers were good. Number 1, homer ISO. Number 2, OPS, WOBA, WRC+. 3, batting average, 4 K rate. So the discipline combined with contact quality was all correct. But sorry, I spun off with the wrong hitters. That was my mistake. My apologies. We'll get to that in a second. So I think that's it, Jay. I also wanted to list the under. Again, if we're going to go classic, Clash of the Titans. Oh, we're back online. Excellent. Love it, baby. I didn't know if you're going to be able to do the reload. Look at that, man. Sometimes with live TV people, you can learn to just kind of drop back and punt on certain things. These things happen. Jay got us back on track, and we are rolling. All right, let's get into the second one. Our 9-1 Philly sweep botched last night. I thought they were going to get him. That Phillies in 5 plus 5.5 that we also liked is still pretty live. So, all right, let's get into the second game now. Again, my apologies on that one. It's just a little out of character to get so derailed and go so far with it. It is the Fighting Phils on the road, minus 130 favorites. Christopher Dirty Sanchez on a bump against those Snakes with shapes on their back, plus 115 underdogs with lefty Joe Mantiply on the bump. Yikes, this was always the reason for the Phillies bet in 4 or 5. Again, I thought they were going to get him yesterday. It was purely a pitching play. Fott ended up being really damn good, but that was always part of the play as well. And even if Gallen and Fott were good, they'd probably split at best, and then it just falls off the map. Arizona, I just don't think, has the firepower. Let's start with Christopher Sanchez. All right, so he hasn't pitched yet in the playoffs, and he didn't face Arizona, so clean slate here. Wouldn't be surprised if Philly was saving him for the road, right? And they knew later on, and they knew they're going to push him on the road. Again, that sinker he throws just not playing in Philadelphia. Nearly 2 home runs per 9 at home this year. However, on the road, 207 batting average allowed, 567 OPS, that's off the hook, 208 ERA with a .7 homer 9. Christopher Sanchez really doing his thing on the road. Oh man, he's a road warrior. Rush. What a rush. I mean, as a road warrior, got the spiked shoulder pads, funky haircut, hawking animal, baby. If you know, then you know. 18 games started for Sanchez on the season, 7 quality starts, 2 money, and 2 with 10 strikeouts. And this is part of the reason why I like to bring this stuff up. Also, one of those was against Atlanta, and it was the twofer, meaning it was a money start with the double-digit Ks. So we can talk about Sanchez as times maybe being a bit of like a contact pitcher. I know I skipped over that today. I just assume You were here with us all season, right? We know the walk rate has been great. 4% walk, 32.5 ball, 66 first strike, 38 O swing. We've always liked the bully metric, right? First strike plus O swing over 100. He gets up, gets ahead, makes his chases junk. The thing we're looking at, the 57 ground ball, we love it, that 90% zone contact, however. But there, he does have it in there. It's in the range. Remember, Verlander, 0 10K games. And he had more starts. Sanchez, 18 games started. Two money, 2 10K, 1 out of 9 is not bad. 11% money start rate for a guy that's your number 4 is not bad. PO says Montgomery plus 5Ks plus 162 on FanDuel. That's pretty sharp. I like that. Again, the low bar ladder, something when we had Thunder Dan in the house, in the chair, was into. Jim Pine says Sanchez is going to be on a short leash with Wheeler available tomorrow. I mean, I think everyone's on a short leash. But he's been good, right? It's not like an opener. Always got to be careful with the outs. Let's get into the prop stuff. I mentioned a sinker, which is really good. I did want to mention the off-speed stuff for Sanchez. Again, really very good. No joke. Change up. 33 use, that's a primary pitch. 267 X slug, 43 whip. That's bananas. Really, really good. The thing he's got to worry about is the sinker, the 500 X slug, getting punished at home. That's the big thing. The slider also. 30% whiff rate in the slider. He can get that. Here's the thing. Bring up the Sanchez keys. This I was just a flashing misprice. The misprice we had yesterday just didn't hold. I had Sanchez listed at 2.5 strikeouts. I know it's juice, but Jay, I think we got to do it. He's gone over the 16 of 18 starts. That's 8 out of 9. It's a pretty incredible hit rate. I think you just got to do it. 3 strikeouts. I mean, could you find a lower bar? Like I say, and I know I do hate the juice. But 16 of 18, we're going to go for it. Out prop, funny that you mentioned that. I met, Jim, my bad. Is something you and I really have a cool kind of connection for my blind spot, which is what this is all about, right? The immersive experience we're trying to provide to people that goes just beyond people that have their hand out. Give me a bet. We're here for you also. Go right to the end, grab the bets, play them. Good luck. We're green on the season. We love you. But this has always been about more than that. A deeper understanding, being malleable as we work our way through the analytics to try and come to conclusions in a strong, probabilistic scenario, but also understanding not only with the depth of the game, the complexity of the game, but that now being matched with the book's availability. You need people, man, to say, what about this? What about that? Jim mentioned the out prop. That one's not listed. So, for whatever reason, they're picking up what you're putting down. I think we want to get on the walk prop as well. Sanchez listed at 1.5. Again, if we're going to play into a short hook theory, you got to like the control prop, right? Going under on the control props is what I mean to say. So 1.5, he's only gone over that 3 of 18 times, so 15 of 18 unders. I'd like to go under the 1.5 walks on Sanchez as well. Then the over-under set at 2.5, 7 of 18. That one I maybe not. Maybe I stay away from. But I do like 2 of those. So let's go over 2.5 Ks for Sanchez. Let's go under 1.5 walks. Again, I mentioned he had a 4% walk rate through just shy of 100 innings and truly validated by the ball percentage at 32.5. That is fantastic. He gets ahead. He checks all the boxes for control. He doesn't miss. So let's get those. That's another juice one. Yes, I promise I've not been kidnapped, people. This is all under my own volition. But such is life in a big city with the playoffs. So, sticking my neck out a little bit for juice. But that being said, I don't have it off the top of my head. Even at minus 180, I hope I get smoked in the comments. What is that? About 38% implied probability. We're talking about things that are hitting, 16 of 18, 15 of 19. So I think, that's the argument for playing juice is if you think you have edge, if the mathematics kind of support it. I generally don't pay the juice because I would rather select from somewhere else on the menu. But with these limited scenarios, everything else feels like pushing. And again, the pricing for the hitting hasn't moved to a spot where it's, I don't want to say fair, you know what I mean? Where has to move to a spot where it's advantageous to us. If we were getting Simeon total base props all season at plus 130 with a guy leading off the hitting the way he does, now we have a tough pitcher in a playoff spot with a low total, and we got to go down to plus 105. Yeah, no thanks. Jim Pine says it's minus 165 at MGM. That's nice. Now that's like where I could think of, because for me that every 20 cents is a big deal. Like I cap it minus 140 at minus 160. I'm like, oh, I'm making faces. I'm about the dookie, and at minus 180. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm slumping in my chair because I just don't want to lose. But again, I think everything's there. I just don't want to be a hypocrite. And I like to have people at least understand, right, the thing we were talking to, tying into the greater lesson here, that this isn't just throwing stuff at the wall, right? We're truly diving into all of the minutia of the stuff and comparing it, to the books for edge, hopefully. So I've been avoiding talking about the rest of it because it all stinks. We mentioned Arizona, how bad they've been versus lefties. And now we've kind of seen the bottom fall out in this playoff series. Yeah, they got it done, but they haven't been good. Bottom 3 in homers versus lefties second half. Bottom 5 in ISO. Bottom 10 BA, WOBA, WRC+. We mentioned Gurriel has crushed lefties. So if you're looking for, you're playing jock market, you're looking for like the player that could pop, that's it. I don't really like the pricing in this stuff. I just can't change my mind on it. We did hit it yesterday. I'm not going back to the well today. I did look more to last night's again. I had like the microscope out for this stuff. No one is hitting the ball except for Ketel Marte. If I had to go to one person today, it'd be Ketel Marte. He had 3 batted ball events last night over 105 miles an hour. One was over 116. So that's, and it's minus money. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not, for 2 bases. 2 bases really hard in a low total game. 2 bases is really hard in a low total game. No, grazie, pero no grazie. No. Okay, let's go into the other side. I just don't really have much here. Like I said, I mentioned the horse drawing because I knew I was going to bring it up again. This is my horse drawing, at the beginning. It's pitch shape and arsenal and deployment and how it is going to work. And now we're like, the Diamondbacks are starting Joe Banta to play. I'm like, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? Okay, you're in the National League Championship Series. Starting Joe Banta to play. 23 of 35 outings, right? Guy's not a starter. No earned runs, so that's what they're going to be praying for to kind of bridge the gap. Longest outing all season was 3 innings pitched. And ironically, it was against the Phillies, who got him for 4 runs through 3 innings. It was only 1 barrel. That was JTR. I told you I was digging for you people. Only 2 hearted balls, Realmuto and Castellanos. For whatever that's worth. Again, it's not like I'm overreacting to all this stuff, but it wasn't as bad as maybe the outcome seen, giving up 4 runs. But they got to him. He wasn't fooling him, feels safe to say. Phillies crushed lefties all year. Though, again, you want to be careful chasing these statistics with a pitcher that might only throw an inning. Right? It's hard enough. If we're worried about them completing 5, not really anything you can go after. Right? Again, Mantiply has just no props even posted. Because there's just zero expectations. He's going to go until he puts a runner on. And then, I don't know, I had a couple people in the DMs this morning looking for some clarity. I have no clue. Here's what I do got. I got whatever they've shown us. So, last night, we got Sal Frank, Ryan Thomas. Sal Frank, the lefty, Ryan Thompson, the righty, before Ginkel and Sewell. They were all excellent. Sewell got the win. I think this was the last time they pitched, or the last time Mantiply pitched, on Tuesday, we got Ryan Nelson and Slade Ciccone. So that would be that's my best guess, is you're going to get Mantiply lefty and then a combination of Nelson and Ciccone, where Sal Frank, the lefty, will act as the bridge, right? I don't know if that makes sense. So Mantiply until he gets touched. Ryan Nelson for the follow to see what he's got. I would imagine the initial anticipation is at least 1 inning. If it's clean, I think you'll see him again. Nelson, we've seen start before. Easily good for a couple innings. How good they're going to be, that's another kind of question altogether. Until they get the tough lefties, in which case maybe you'll see South Frank for the matchups. Again, I'm kind of grabbing it air a little bit, but doing the very best I can. I mentioned Ryan Nelson. He had 144 innings this year, but to a 5.3 ERA. I mean, just not very good. He lost that job. It says I thought his name was Saul Frank. It's a Jerky Boys joke in there somewhere. Anyway, I really love you guys. Like I said, I don't really know on this one. This one feels like a Phillies win, maybe a Phillies run line, maybe to the over with no scoring yesterday. What's the over on this one, Jay? I think that's where the analysis kind of takes me. I don't really believe in it. I like the plus 120 on the Phillies run line also. I think I would go with that. So I would hit the Phillies run line to cover the 1.5. Again, even if it's low scoring, I think we get there. 4-2, 4-1, 5-2, or Phillies explode, right? Because there's a chance Phillies cover the game over on their own. Here, so give me Phillies cover. Jay, can we get Phillies team total also? I'm like rolling my eyes, wondering if that's a 4 because it's a playoffs, thinking it's probably 4.5. Full game, yeah. Pinnacle's got 4.5 minus 130. Jay will concur. Pinnacle's like a legit book right there, super sharp. And if you see Pinnacle, you can normally. I think I like the Phillies for 5 runs also. I don't know how do we don't get there. There's just they just don't have the firepower. The Diamondbacks just don't have the firepower. Jim Pine says, I don't see how the D-backs pull this off on essentially a bullpen game. You and I again, simpatico, my friend, with the best guys pitching yesterday. Now, granted, day off before, I think Sewell is fine. I don't think Ginkle's that good. Yeah, I worry. Jim Pine loves the ML, me too. I even think we get the cover. Then we got Ink 2 Audio. Again, I don't know if you've been listening for a while, but I think it's your first time in the chat. Welcome aboard. Grab your spear, grab your shield. This is freaking 300. It ain't Sparta, it's madness. Giving to the book nothing, taking from them everything. Says, I know this is a basic angle. No, yo, we are here for absolutely everybody. The professor is here for the 101 all the way up to the advanced AP stuff, yo. And I think it's really important in this day and age that your favorite handicapper is able to talk to everybody and relate to them. Let me know if I can. Let's get into it. How much do you downgrade a team's offense playing a day game after a night game? Thinking of first 5 unders, Texas-Houston. Well, not to bury the lead. We're on the Texas-Houston F5 under. Though much less for that. I'm going to double check to make sure I don't go, size 11 Nike inside mouth. But why do I feel like they're not day games? Yeah, they're 5 p.m. So I don't know. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but let me just take it from where I see it is. Though I generally don't weigh day and night stuff, we've covered this during the year. I've even brought none of my own testing because, again, small anecdote. I used to get smoked on day games where I stopped betting them. I was testing my own work and finding out that they were unprofitable. But when I went to like Quant Guys and Cardi checked it out for me, I always make sure I run a lot of my questions through Derek Cardi in the offseason, super sharp, of course, with the bat axes. Guy's freaking brilliant, you know what I mean? No correlation day to night. As far as like the physical, subjective stuff, I would really only look at it if we were talking about night game, like extra inning, quick turnaround, early start. Where 9-inning game at 8, play again at 5 is just kind of baseball. I'm not too worried. These guys are freaking locked. They're like, everyone is like locked TF in right now. BGC's got plus 125 at MGM on that run line cover. Yeah, that's why I like it when you're getting the there's a benefit in that run. And again, I just don't think it's there. The Diamondbacks' offense does not match up well with Sanchez, who's been pitching really great on the road. This one's all Phillies for me. I think they kind of put their stamp on it today. So that'll do it. Jay, if you can, bring up today's bets and scroll through for everybody. Sorry I dropped the ad right in your lap. I didn't know if you were going to pick it up, which you did. Of course, in stride, like a bouse. But the bouse. So from J&J, everybody, that's it for the Freaky Friday edition of The Big Show. Stockton alone, yeah, indeed. Dude, I don't know about mine. Whatever mine is, I'm not that good. I can go to show you, I haven't watched basketball in a decade. I can't really name a relative player that makes sense with. Sad, I really can't. Like, the only point guard I know is like Derrick Rose. And I think his career is over. Yeah, it's really bad. Well, from us here at Call to the Pen, redheaded stepchild of the Hammer Betting Network, we're getting down to the very nitty-gritty. You can count the amount of shows we have left on two hands. Tyler says, Jeff Hornacek. Yeah, baby. I love it. So, Anthony Graves, cheers to you, too. My man, we appreciate you hopping on board. Nothing like this show, man. Inc. to everybody. All the Bryans. Frankie, Maddie, from the entire restaurant where the chefs eat. You want to go where everybody knows your name. Oh, man, I got to make work that where everybody knows your name. Enjoy the game. And enjoy your day. And when we're done with the book, enjoy that pay. I think I added on to my famous catchphrase. And remember, everybody, we love you so much. We'll see you Monday. When you work this hard, there's a lot less like luck, yo. Peace.